A match to savour. Goals aplenty. A late twist.
¡Qué error de Víctor Valdés! Se llama Ángel Di María y ha puesto el 3-2 a falta de 5.
Valdez's blunder breathing life into the Supercopa. The men from the capital taking crucial away goals with them to the Bernabeu, where the first piece of silverware will be decided for the Spanish season. It's Real Madrid versus Barcelona right here on SBS.
Yes, the new camp played host to a thrilling 5-goal encounter last week. Today we're in Madrid, and the bright lights of the Estadio Santiago Bernabeu will light up for the second leg of the Spanish Supercopa between Real Madrid and Barcelona. Two valuable away goals for Los Merengues sees this year's edition finally poised. They'll be aiming to improve on a disappointing start to their La Liga campaign, where they are winless after 2 games. The Blaugrana under Villanova are firing on all cylinders, 2 from 2 in the league and 1 hand on the Supercopa trophy after a 3-2 win in the first leg. Welcome back to the second of our matches this morning. It promises to be yet another classic encounter between these two heavyweights. Still with me, our SBS football analysts Francis Awaratifi and Željko Kalac. And guys, inspired, we saw the game last week. It was just amazing, especially that second half. What are you expecting this week?
Yeah, nothing different. I could watch one of these games every day. They're just two brilliant sides who play great football. Super coach, obviously we got the special one on one side. We're waiting to see what he's going to conjure up against Barcelona today.
Well, I can tell you he's made a few changes to the lineup, Franny. 4, in fact. Pep comes in. You remember he had that clash with Casillas in the first league match. He comes back into the side. Marcelo back at left back. Di Maria comes in, a Higuain for Benzema. So he's made 4 changes. Anything you can read into that? And also Modric is on the bench.
Yeah, look, I think that's Real Madrid's best 11. I think if you look at the team over the last year, you'd say that's arguably the best 11 they've got out there today. And so clearly Mourinho means business. They're going out there to win today. I think when you look at Barca's team as well, they've probably got... I mean, it's not so clear-cut with them because they've got players who can interchange. We've got David Villa, who can come into the team and strengthen the team, and obviously Jordi Alba, who's a very good player, and obviously Cesc, who gives them that tactical flexibility as well, whether it's him playing in a false 9, if you like, or playing as an integral part of the proper midfield. So, fascinating contest ahead. Really looking forward to it, Dave.
Well, Barca are unchanged, but let's have a look at the highlights from the first leg, Spider. In the first half, Ronaldo put Real Madrid in front, and then it was just all Barca after that. And Barca just typical from what we've seen, just controlled the game, but it was still they had to come back from 1-0 down. Yeah,
Barcelona dominated the match in possession. Real just sat back and tried to get him on the counter.
And this was straight after Ronaldo's
goal.
Straight
after. It was 30 seconds after the goal. I think the interesting thing here is the way Barcelona come back at Real Madrid. They really come back with all guns blazing once they conceded the goal. And it's interesting to see that Constance's out of the team, and we thought he was a weak link for Real. And obviously Higuain coming in for Benzema, I think, is a massive plus, because I thought Benzema was poor in the first leg.
And what about this? Look at this from Iniesta. Just players around him, and he slips the ball through. That is just beautiful to watch, isn't it, Franny?
It is. It's magnificent to watch. But the thing for me, the player who really caught my eye in this game is Xavi. I think he's really rejuvenated this year. Last season he had a few injuries, and he didn't quite play the way. He looked tired, especially towards the end. He looked fatigued. The injuries were getting to him. But when you look at the way he's played in this match, he's completely rejuvenated. He's back to his very best, and it's great to see him playing that level again. Spider,
how costly will that mistake by Valdez be? 2 away goals. The away goals count in this, so will that be crucial?
Definitely. The mischief Victor Valdez got himself into there at the end of the match did Barcelona no favours at all. That's really put them under pressure. I would say Real Madrid would be the favourites for this match now.
Okay, well, let's just go through the Barca lineup. As I said, unchanged from last week. Valdez in goals, Alves on the right, Piqué, Mascherano in the middle, Adriano on the left, Busquets sitting with Iniesta, Xavi, Pedro, Messi and Sanchez up front. But Song is on the bench for the first time, Franny. So
Yep.
what do you make of that?
Great. It gives them another option. I think that they don't have another player like Song in their side, and I think it's great that he's... I mean,
can you see him fitting into this Barca team?
Oh, definitely. I think he'll replace Keita, what Keita brings to the team. He brings the same sort of qualities that Keita had, and I think that's why they signed him. So, no problem at all. I think, obviously, once he gets the time to learn the system and everything, I have no doubts he has the qualities to fit in that environment.
And what about Modric for Real Madrid? Big signing, was talked about a long time. Thought he was going to go to Chelsea last year. Ends up at Real Madrid this year, but it's taken a long time to get him there. How do you see him fitting into this team, Spider?
Look, he's definitely going to have to improve on his fitness because he obviously hasn't trained for a long time now. So it's going to take him time to adapt to the speed. We all know what he did for the national team for Croatia. We all know how important he was for Tottenham. But is he going to take Ozil's spot? I don't think the idea is to take Ozil's spot. I think it's the idea is to give Ozil a break so we can freshen up for the bigger matches.
And with
Can they play together?
Kaká might be disappearing as well, so I think he's going to probably fill in that...
Can they play together, Franny?
I don't see them playing together, no. I think that it's going to be one or the other.
Okay, and with the poor start to the season for Real Madrid, Spider, what would Mourinho... Would he be putting more emphasis on this game? If he loses two games in a row to Villanova, just starting at Barcelona, it's not a good look, is it?
I think this cup is all about who's the dominant force for this year. To stamp their authority at the beginning of the season. We know that Real hasn't started the season off well. They will start to pick up points, but I think this is the big match. If they can dominate Barcelona...
Okay, beautiful. Let's take in all the action at the Bernabeu, and then your commentator will be Sid Lowe.
Here we go again then. It's Real Madrid against Barcelona. It's the 12th Clásico in just 16 months. That's as many times that these teams have met as they had in the previous 6 years combined. The Clásico is becoming ever more classic. Real Madrid against Barcelona, the second leg of the Spanish Supercopa. The first leg finished Barcelona 3, Real Madrid 2. A late goal from Ángel Di María, a complete gift in truth from Victor Valdés, means that this game is very much alive. Away goals do count in the Spanish Supercopa, so tonight a 1-0 victory or a 2-1 victory, for example, would be enough to see Real Madrid crowned as Supercopa champions. In terms of the all-time list, Barcelona have won the Spanish Supercopa, which began back in 1982, 10 times, Real Madrid 8. But the statistic gets even more interesting when you look at the overall record for 110 years, 220 games between these two sides. It's 87 wins each and 46 draws, so whoever wins tonight will be ahead in the historic ranking as well. Barcelona have had a good time of it of late here at the Santiago Bernabeu. They've not been on the losing side here since May 2008. That day they were forced to provide a guard of honour to Real Madrid, who just won La Liga, and Madrid then went and hammered them 4-1. But since then, it's been Barcelona all the way. Real Madrid, of course, the current league champions. Barcelona, the winners of the Copa del Rey after defeating Athletic Bilbao in the final across the other side of the city at the Vicente Calderón back in May. Two captains, Xavi Hernández and Iker Casillas, have been very, very good friends since the age of 15 when they first coincided in the Spanish national team. They still are friends. They've had to come together to diffuse some of the tension that has grown up around this Clásico over the last couple of years. The first leg started with a Cristiano Ronaldo goal. Within a minute, Barcelona had equalised through Pedro. Leo Messi scored a penalty to make it 2-1. Xavi Hernández then made it 3-1 to Barcelona. Barcelona absolutely dominated the first leg. Leo Messi missed a very, very good chance on 85 minutes to make it 4-1 within 30 seconds. Madrid were up the other end. A back pass to Victor Valdés. He trod on the ball, slipped, fell over, and Ángel Di María was in to finish it off. There's changes in the Real Madrid side. It's exactly the same Barcelona lineup as it was in the first leg. Real Madrid welcome back Pepe, who replaces Albiol. Marcelo replaces Coentrao, who today has found out that he's got a 4-game ban for being sent off from on the bench at the weekends against Getafe. Up front, it's Karim Benzema, who's been left out. Higuaín takes his place, and Ángel Di María replaces José Callejon on the right-hand side of midfield. Run through the complete sides for you in a moment. Big news for Real Madrid, the return of Pepe, who's missed the last 2 games. The defeat against Getafe in La Liga on Sunday night, 2-1, and the 3-2 defeat to Barcelona in the Supercopa last week, the Supercopa final first leg. Pepe had a big and very nasty knock on the head with Iker Casillas in the first league game against Valencia. Was put under observation. They did scans on his head. In the end, they found that there was nothing wrong with him, but they had to keep him in for a while. And Pepe now is finally back, and he's been really, really important to Real Madrid, in particular in the games against Barcelona, when on occasion, of course, he's even played as a central midfielder, not just as a centre-back. That's Xabi Alonso looking for Cristiano Ronaldo, who slips. Ronaldo, who says he is 10 days or so away from his full fitness and the best of his ability. Real Madrid have had a difficult start to the season. 3 official games so far, a draw in La Liga, defeat in the first leg of this, and defeat in La Liga then against Getafe at the weekend. 3 games without a victory at the start of the season. Is Jose Mourinho's worst start since he was a coach at Benfica. He's never gone 4 games at the start of the season without winning. It's Marcelo who will take this throw-in down in the corner, replacing Coentrao tonight. Xabi Alonso to Marcelo. Now Cristiano Ronaldo. Dropped to Higuain, but his shot was hooked over the bar. Very quickly run through the 2 sides for you then. Barcelona line up with Victor Valdés in goal. The back 4 is Dani Alves, Gerard Piqué, Javier Mascherano and Adriano. Busquets, Xavi and Iniesta, who was superb in the first leg, are the 3 men in midfield. And up front, Pedro, Leo Messi and Alexis, as Angel Di Maria tries to clip that towards Mesut Ozil. Real Madrid line up with Iker Casillas, Marcelo, Sergio Ramos, Pepe and Arbeloa. Xabi Alonso and Sami Khedira in the middle of midfield. In front of them, Cristiano Ronaldo, Mesut Ozil and Angel Di Maria. Up front, Gonzalo Higuain. Xavi Hernandez to Gerard Piqué, who started the season looking very sharp and very slim. Busquets, his whistles all the way around the Santiago Bernabéu. Incidentally, the last time that Real Madrid were beaten here in 2008, as Leo Messi steps off on a run early on. It's cut out by Pepe, but it finds Andres Iniesta. Now Pedro. Alexis is lurking on the far side. Pedro tries to come inside, but could step away from Arbeloa, but couldn't reach the ball. Certainly the last time that Real Madrid were able to beat Barcelona here at the Santiago Bernabéu back in May 2008 was also the last time that Barcelona finished a game without more than 50% of the possession. It's well over 200 games since then. Here's Xavi. Pedro's making the run through the middle. Messi was trotting back. Xavi decided against the pass. This is Andres Iniesta, who almost turned himself into trouble with Gonzalo Higuain on top of him. There has, in fact, been a late change from what we were initially told, by the way. It's not Adriano at left-back. It is, in fact, Jordi Alba. The official team sheet in the stadium says Adriano. There must have been a late change. We'll try and find out, if we can, what happened there. Here's Pedro. Pedro's ball with the left foot is a good one towards the far post. Adriano was diving in. Marcelo had a bit of a nudge in the back, and I think had a word with Adriano, who, rather with Alexis, who he felt dived. Pepe too comes over to have a word, and Matteo Hoth's message is really quite clear. If anyone's going to tell a player that he's dived, it's me. That change does mean that Barcelona are not lining up with the same starting 11 as they did in the first leg. But looking at it, it's Adriano on the far side in possession, so it's Dani Alves who's been left out. We assume that it was perhaps a late injury in the warm-up, or a late change from Tito Villanova for some other reason. So it's Adriano at right back, and Dani Alves left out. Jordi Alba at left back. Not a natural change by any means. Adriano has played at right back before, but not his normal position, so assumption must be that there's an injury of sorts there. Xavi's ball was looking towards Alexis. Alexis almost got on the end of it despite the stretch from Marcelo. Barcelona have a corner. 5 minutes gone. Real Madrid 0, Barcelona 0 in the Spanish Supercopa second leg. Barcelona 3-2 winners in the first leg. Away goals do count. His corner towards the penalty spot. There's men tumbling all over the place. It's Sergio Ramos who heads it away, and it's really opened up for Marcelo here. Mesut Ozil is bombing through the middle. Sergio Ramos is alongside them as well. Now Angel Di Maria. He lets it go for Alvaro Arbeloa. Barcelona now have men back. They're at 3 ahead of the ball. The other 8 were back in position, and it was Jordi Alba who made the interception in the end. There's Xabi Alonso. It's been an interesting summer for both clubs. There's been new signings at both clubs. They're on the bench, the new signings tonight. Luka Modric, who was presented only yesterday, is on the bench for Real Madrid. Alex Song on the bench for Barcelona as Marcelo looks to Higuain. Higuain's through, 1-on-1 with the keeper. Good save as well from Victor Valdés. Gonzalo Higuain has been Real Madrid's only goal scorer in La Liga so far this season. Scored a goal against Valencia. He also scored the goal in the 2-1 defeat against Getafe. Had the first chance earlier on, and Victor Valdés makes the save. Victor Valdés, to some extent, atones for that terrible error in the first leg. Tito Vilanova has been very quick to defend Victor Valdés over the last week, and rightly so, but of course it hasn't been forgotten that mistakes with his kicking led to the goal in the first leg here, and also led to Real Madrid's opening goal in the La Liga game last season, which Barcelona then went on to win 3-1. Valdés makes the save. Of course, to some extent, kicking mistakes from Valdés are a product of the way that Barcelona play. Absolutely determined that their goalkeeper should be part of the move, that should be part of the ability to keep possession and keep the ball. Valdés is always encouraged not to just kick the ball long. Last year, in the 3-1, he'd given away the goal to Karim Benzema very early on in the Clásico here in La Liga. The next time he got the ball, rather than hoofing it long, he played it out once more. Barcelona continued to stick to that principle despite it having cost them. Belief, of course, very clearly that in the long run they're better off playing than they are simply kicking it away. Piqué will have to be quick. He hooks it away towards Alba. Alba under pressure from Angel Di Maria. In the end it will be a Barcelona throw-in, but deep into their own half, well down by the corner flag. Not very many Barcelona fans in here tonight. A very small pocket high in the north stand. Around about, it's a guesstimate, around about maybe 300. Luka Modric watches on. He was very clear yesterday that he felt he wasn't ready to start tonight. I'm sure Jose Mourinho would like the opportunity to give him some minutes though against Barcelona. Big question marks in Spain about where exactly Modric fits into this Real Madrid side, which role is most naturally his. Perhaps Mesut Ozil's, perhaps alongside Xabi Alonso as a more orthodox central midfielder. Modric certainly has been insisting that he sees himself as a central midfielder. Here's Messi in that central midfield position, almost loses out to Angel Di Maria, but manages to get possession back. Now Iniesta. And for all Messi's brilliance, it was Iniesta that so shone in the first leg. Adriano towards Alexis, but it's a little long and Alexis won't get there. Sergio Ramos is across quickly to cut him out. It's a neat turn from Ozil, doesn't quite get there. Well, at the risk of delivering a commentator's curse here, this should be a good game. In the last 7 clashes between Barcelona and Real Madrid, the away team has scored at least 2 goals. Here's Iniesta. Now Pedro. Messi lets that ball slip away from him, and Adriano was too far behind him to be able to back him up. Mascherano makes a mess of it. Here's Higuain. It's another great chance for Gonzalo Higuain, and this time he doesn't miss it. Real Madrid have the lead. Gonzalo Higuain gets it. And Barcelona made a terrible, terrible mess of that. Gonzalo Higuain has put Real Madrid in the lead, not just on the night, but on aggregate. Real Madrid 1, Barcelona 0. And it was the simplest of balls all the way over the top. Higuain was in. I think it wasn't even really a pass, it was just a long hoof from Pepe. Mascherano judged it poorly, Higuain put it down and thumped it past the keeper. Underneath Victor Valdés' body, but it certainly couldn't be blamed. Mascherano, on the other hand, could. Really, really simple goal for Barcelona to give away. And all 3 goals that Real Madrid have had in this Supercopa final have been, to some extent, gifts from Barcelona. The first one was a corner from Cristiano Ronaldo in the first leg, although, in truth, while Ronaldo wasn't particularly well marked, it was still an extremely good header. Second one at the end of the first leg was just a terrible, terrible mistake from Valdés. And now the simplest of simple goals gives Real Madrid the lead. It's Gonzalo Higuain who gets it once more. It's Real Madrid 1, Barcelona 0. It's Real Madrid 3, Barcelona 3 on aggregate. And Real Madrid have 2 away goals. Here's Mascherano. Mascherano over the top towards Alexis. Alexis brings it down. Sergio Ramos gets across. Ramos seems to be tugging slightly on Alexis. Alexis goes to ground once again. Pepe tells Alexis he's diving, but the play continues. It's given away now towards Messi. Messi into the area away from Pepe. Can't quite bring the ball under control, and it runs through to Iker Casillas. Alonso wants a word with the referee, presumably about what he feels was Alexis's haste to go to ground, and once again Mateo Lajos' gesture is absolutely clear. Leave it to me to make those kind of decisions. Here's Iniesta. I wonder what's going through Javier Mascherano's mind right now. A terrible mistake. This is the ball forward towards Alexis. Well, Sergio Ramos had maybe an arm on his shoulder. Didn't look like a huge amount of contact. Angel Di Maria does really well to get away. Mascherano comes across. Mascherano blocks him off, and I think Mascherano may well get himself the first yellow card of the night for that. It's Angel Di Maria who goes to ground. And Mascherano is saying to Mateo Lajos that it was a shoulder charge, that he came to block Di Maria off rather than fouled him. Well, it hasn't been a good start at all for Javier Mascherano. Slow motion replays always give you a slightly jaundiced view of it, but it almost looked as if Mascherano came across in front of Di Maria and had Di Maria going into the back of him. The question, of course, that the referee has to answer there is to what extent Mascherano was looking for the contact with Di Maria to block him off, and to what extent he was trying to get ahead of Di Maria to chase him down towards the ball. In any case, it's a Real Madrid free kick on this side. Oscilla's over it, and Madrid have dangerous men in these kind of positions. Ronaldo, Ramos, Pepe, they're all in the penalty area, so too Sami Khedira. Oscilla the in-swing with the left foot. Wasn't the best of deliveries though, it dropped behind everyone. Here's Xavi. Xavi now to Messi. Messi gets away from Angel Di Maria and tries to slot it through the gap towards Pedro, but Alvaro Arbeloa saw it. Messi almost wins it back though from Oscilla. Madrid have the throw in as Higuain blocks off Jordi Alba. Well, Barcelona did go behind to an early goal here last year. They went behind to the first goal in the first leg of the Supercopa. They won both of those games. They scored 3 goals both times, but this is not the start they would have wanted. And the noise in the stadium is deafening at the moment. However, it goes towards Cristiano Ronaldo. Here's Marcelo. Marcelo goes for goal. It went all the way across, and while the shot wasn't the best, it almost turned into a very good delivery for Gonzalo Higuain, who was coming in at the far post. Marcelo playing tonight, at least in part, because of the absence of Coentrao. Coentrao was on the bench at the weekend when Real Madrid lost 2-1 to Getafe. At one point he turned to the referee and shouted some abuse. The referee wrote down in his notebook in the official report as well that the abuse basically involved 3 words. And today Coentrao has been told by the competition committee that he has a 4-game ban. The competition committee has a new president and they seem to be trying to set the bar very, very low indeed, and very high in terms of sanctions, because not only has Coentrao got a 4-game ban, so too Pachi Puñal, who was sent off at the weekend against Barcelona for having a word or two more than he should have done to the referee. There seemed to be a new get tough policy. Real Madrid have already admitted that they will be appealing against it. Oh, it's another long ball forward that's relatively aimless that almost turned out to be a great pass. Cristiano Ronaldo headed it on and was fouled. Mateo Lorth really should have let that go if it was Real Madrid's free kick. Well, actually, I think the free kick has gone the other way. It was for Cristiano Ronaldo's foul. I'm really sure what Ronaldo did wrong there, to be honest. Unless perhaps he was coming back from an offside position. Xavi to Jordi Alba. Iniesta to Alba. Iniesta once more. Alba again, lovely touch from Iniesta towards Alba. Alba looking for the run of Pedro behind the back of Pepe. Mascherano comes across to win that. You just wonder what's going through Mascherano's mind every time there's a close-up on him. Pepe away, high into the air. Ronaldo goes to ground, and goes to ground really very easily indeed. Adriano continues, the referee says play on. Here's Sergio Busquets. Hasn't really got many options in front of him, Busquets. He's forced to come back towards Xavi, Xavi to Busquets, Busquets now to Piqué. Barcelona have not had that fluency yet. Here's Busquets, Iniesta to Messi. Messi now for Alba. And now Pedro. Alba goes on the outside. Pedro comes inside towards Messi, but Xavi Alonso gets there. Andres Iniesta comes across to take it off Alonso. Now Messi once more. Messi loses out to Mesut Ozil. Sergio Busquets and Andres Iniesta are diving in. So too Xavi Alonso. Now Khedira. Khedira over the top towards Ronaldo. Ronaldo's flick is a brilliant one. It takes him away from Piqué. Ronaldo into the area. Piqué goes towards the goal line to try and cut it off, and it goes through Valdés, and it goes into the back of the net. Cristiano Ronaldo makes it 2-0 to Real Madrid. And it was the flick over the head of Gerard Piqué that made it all possible for Ronaldo. Piqué then caught up with the striker, but felt that the best decision was to go towards the goal line rather than to try and block out the shot. Ronaldo's shot went through Valdés' legs, and the rebound did him all sorts of favours. It was another mistake for a relatively simple ball, and Cristiano Ronaldo makes it Real Madrid 2, Barcelona 0. It was Sami Khedira's ball up the pitch. Bounced off the back of Piqué, and Ronaldo's flick. In fact, it wasn't off the leg of Valdés, it was off the hand, and perhaps if Valdés had even left it, Gerard Piqué might have got to that. Extremely unlucky in that sense, Victor Valdés. Barcelona are 2-0 down now. Piqué to Messi, away from Alonso. Now Xavi. Xavi gives it away to Ozil. Barcelona not settling at all well. That goal came from a piece of Barcelona possession which was eventually crowded out by 2 or 3 men. They haven't had as much as the ball as they would like, and they haven't been as crisp with their passing as they would like, Barcelona. And Jose Mourinho was talking about his team's mindset more than anything else coming into this game. It was a lunging challenge from Angel Di Maria and a poor challenge as well from Pepe. And I think it's going to be Pepe that gets booked rather than Angel Di Maria, although Angel Di Maria, I think, is saying to him, book me, I was the one who produced the worst foul. It is Pepe that gets the yellow card. And while Pepe can't have too many complaints, it probably would have been better for Real Madrid had Angel Di Maria got the yellow card for that challenge there. rather than Pepe for this one here. Barcelona maybe mentally came into this game in a different place to Real Madrid. They've had a very good start this season. I wonder if they felt that that would just continue. Certainly Mourinho was talking a lot in the build-up to this game about the mental state of his players. He actually talked about a psychological profile, saying he wanted his players to respond, to have a different attitude to the way they'd acted on Sunday night when they lost to Getafe. Certainly there's been nothing wrong with the attitude so far tonight. Been intense, they've been snapping into challenges, and Barcelona have not yet been able to settle. Xavi to Alexis. Now Busquets, alongside him is Iniesta. Busquets' little drag back finds Messi, and in fact it doesn't in the end because it's a poor pass and it's away from Arbeloa. And certainly Madrid are not waiting when they win possession off Barcelona. They're hitting the ball long as early as they possibly can. Xavi to Alexis. Alexis loses out. Osil through to Gonzalo Higuain. What a start this could be, and it's a great save from Victor Valdés. Higuain was one-on-one with the keeper. We scored one. He could already have had a hat-trick, and we're only 21 minutes into this game. Barcelona just cannot settle. Pepe was bombing out the back then to take that off Andres Iniesta. Real Madrid have possession back once more. Ronaldo, Marcelo goes beyond him. Tries to get away from Adriano, and does so as well, Marcelo. Didn't want to deliver on his right foot, turns back onto his left. It's a good cross as well. Piqué was across quickly to clear it. Busquets dawdles a little. Ronaldo felt he was fouled by Busquets. The referee doesn't agree. This is Adriano. Once again, Real Madrid putting pressure on Barcelona high up the pitch, and Barca just cannot find a way out. Adriano now is penalised. Real Madrid's players want a yellow card for Adriano. Marcelo off says no. So it's Xavi Alonso who will take this into the area. Again, Pepe and Ramos are up. Ronaldo's with them too, Sami Khedira, Gonzalo Higuain a little further over in the penalty area. So all of them just on the edge now, creeping in. Alonso's ball, and it goes all the way through, and Real Madrid have a third, but it's ruled out. And it's Pepe. Let's see what it's for. I think Pepe maybe for a push on his marker. It looked like it was Adriano who was alongside him. And now Adriano surely will get booked. Well, he's a little fortunate that Mateo Laoz keeps that card in his pocket. Mesut Ozil was going beyond him up the line. It's another free kick for Real Madrid in another very good position. I think Mourinho would have liked a card to go with it. Adriano came across and put his arm across the body of Mesut Ozil. Now, this is an absolute blitz of a start from Real Madrid. Alonso's ball in, Valdés comes out. The punch isn't entirely convincing, but it's got enough distance on it. Here's Angel Di Maria. Swung in towards the far post and it went over the head of Sami Khedira. Sergio Ramos coming in at the far post, couldn't get near to it either. What a start this has been. Well, actually, it was on Javier Mascherano from Pepe, not Adriano. Just wonder if Mascherano made a little bit of a meal of that. Every time Real Madrid bomb forward, there's a huge roar from the fans. They can feel the vulnerability. Messi to Pedro. Hard to find Messi again. Messi couldn't get onto it, but here's Andres Iniesta. Now Jordi Alba. Jordi Alba stumbles, and once again Real Madrid are quick into the challenge. This is Angel Di Maria. Iniesta is behind him. Messi is alongside him. Angel Di Maria gives it away. Messi goes to it. Pepe comes running through. Messi and Pepe both went into the challenge. Pepe's the man going down holding his leg. Messi is saying that Pepe went hard on him. I think Real Madrid's players are unhappy with the challenge from Messi. And already there's conversations. Alba trying to get away from Arbeloa. Still Jordi Alba. Arbeloa's on his back. Alba tries to turn away from him, but just runs out of space, really. And Real Madrid have the throw in. Barcelona have been unable to create anything so far. Here's the goal again. Well, Pepe certainly did push Mascherano in the back. And once again, Barcelona are caught out. Adriano brings down Cristiano Ronaldo. This could even be red, and it is. Well, this is absolutely extraordinary. Barcelona have just been blitzed in this opening half an hour. Cristiano Ronaldo was getting onto it, and Adriano's foul looks pretty deliberate. Pretty much looks like red card material. Barcelona just do not know what's hit them. Ronaldo goes for it, takes out Busquets in the wall, it drops to Marcelo. Alonso's ball looking towards Marcelo, it's a lovely ball as well. Marcelo back, and it almost went in from Sami Khedira. Well, as if Barcelona's task wasn't hard enough already. Now down to 10 men. Here's Messi. There it goes to Jordi Alba. Alexis was looking for the run beyond the defence. Now Iniesta. Iniesta was taken out by Arbeloa. The referee says play on. I think Iniesta wanted the free kick. Now Mesut Ozil. And once again, it's really opening up for Real Madrid when they come forward. Ozil into the area. Busquets is alongside him. Ozil tries to cut back. Lovely footwork from Ozil. Goes down on the challenge from Jordi Alba. There's nothing there, though. And Alba clears, and Barcelona lose possession once more. Lovely turn from Pepe away from Leo Messi. Angel Di Maria is offside. Here's Ramos to Marcelo. Ronaldo. Barcelona's defensive line is very high again. Once again, Real Madrid want that ball quickly over the top. It's Alvaro Arbeloa, of all people, bombing into the area. Valdes is out quickly. And if Barcelona were vulnerable to that ball behind them, in any case, with a three-man defence, they're surely going to be even more exposed. Xavi to Iniesta, now Busquets. Xavi again, Busquets, Messi. Messi turns. Arbeloa comes towards him, Arbeloa hangs on to him, and it will be a free kick. And Barcelona make the change. Alexis makes way, and it's Montoya who comes on. Well, Tito Vilanova has gone back to a back four then. Montoya was the late inclusion. He, with the absence of Dani Alves, was included amongst the substitutes. Not officially on the team sheet tonight, Montoya. Now on the pitch. Here's Andres Iniesta. Xavi to Iniesta. A moment there the ball didn't run for him, but Iniesta has worked his way through. Lovely footwork now to Leo Messi. Messi back towards Iniesta, and Iniesta was trying to roll it into the path of Messi. Messi felt he was blocked off on the way through. He doesn't get there. Now Angel Di Maria, and again it's that long, quick ball behind Barcelona. Cristiano Ronaldo cuts inside, away from Montoya, and into the path of Higuain. Gonzalo Higuain into the area. It's a great challenge from Javier Mascherano, and it had to be. Higuain was in again. It's Ronaldo's ball across. Cristiano Ronaldo jumping, quite guide that header downwards. For the moment, at least, Barcelona have got basically Messi up front, with Pedro moved now over towards the right-hand side. Andres Iniesta a little bit further to the left. It's Pedro and Iniesta more as wide midfielders than as part of the front three. A little bit behind Leo Messi. Here's Pepe towards Ronaldo. Oh, lovely touch from Ronaldo. Hasn't actually helped him all that much. Montoya is able to get back. Superb touch, though. Piqué to Montoya, back to Piqué. Forward it goes towards Pedro. Ramos is easily able to come across, and it runs through to Iker Casillas. No problem at all for Real Madrid. It's a touch from Cristiano Ronaldo away from Montoya, who almost got himself in trouble with that instinctive flick of the hand towards the ball. Pepe thought about the long ball, instead came short to Sami Khedira. This is Alvaro Arbeloa. And again, that Barcelona high line, and again, Real Madrid looking for the clipped ball over the top of it. And it's caused Barcelona real problems tonight. They haven't been able to close Real Madrid down quickly enough to protect themselves from that ball over the top. Here's Alba to Iniesta, and now it's Real Madrid whose high line is so evident. This is Andres Iniesta, although they're pushing back now to Messi. Alongside him is Xavi. Still Leo Messi, now to Iniesta. Barcelona don't really have the outlets that they would normally have in this position. This is Sergio Busquets now. Montoya is going onto the right-hand side. Pedro's got Montoya outside him. Here is Montoya. In towards Pedro. Montoya continues to run. Lovely footwork from Pedro. Can't quite get the shot away, but it may drop towards Leo Messi. Leo Messi was eventually taken out by Iker Casillas. It drops to Andres Iniesta. Lovely turn from Iniesta. Iniesta's ball into the box. And dashing in on the far post was Montoya. He couldn't quite get to it. It's the first real threat from Barcelona. Messi was closed off by a combination of Arbeloa and Iker Casillas. And Iniesta's ball back in was a good one as well towards Montoya on the far post. He played 7 times in the first team last year, Montoya, 21 with the B team. Unlikely to get a huge amount of games this season with Dani Alves ahead of him. The back end of last season, when there was all sorts of rumours about Alves' future, it was perhaps the closest Montoya may have felt to having an immediate future at Barcelona. He certainly has a future in the long term, but an immediate future in the first team. Here's Ronaldo, lovely run from Ronaldo. Couldn't quite get away from Piqué, and that's been a constant of the battles between these two clubs over the last 2 or 3 years. Ronaldo against Piqué. Piqué, for the most part, has done a pretty good job on Cristiano Ronaldo. But Ronaldo has now scored in his last 4 visits to the Camp Nou. Pepe comes across and doesn't just clear that from Messi, thumps it against the advertising boarding. Here's Messi, lovely little feint from Messi. Support alongside him is Pedro. Pedro back towards Messi, but Barcelona simply don't have the players in that position to be able to get away from Real Madrid. There just seem to be far fewer of them. There are, of course, fewer on the pitch now since that sending off for Adriano on 27 minutes. 2 goals in the opening 20 minutes, 1 from Ronaldo, 1 from Gonzalo Higuain, giving Real Madrid a lead, and it's a big lead too. It's only 4-3 on aggregate, but 2-1 to them would still mean that they win the Supercopa after those 2 away goals in the first leg. See now the difference between the 3-1 scoreline, or even the 4-1 scoreline, which it very nearly was for Barcelona, and the 3-2. Here's Montoya. He's certainly pushed forward since he came on, Martin Montoya. And some of that initial pace has gone out of this game now. Still Barcelona have not really been able to string together the passes as they normally would do. Xavi, under pressure, is forced to play it back towards Piqué. Piqué's now got support from Jordi Alba. Alba to Iniesta. Well, it really has gone wrong for Barcelona right from the very start, even down to the fact that Dani Alves, who was on the team sheet, didn't start the game. It's all gone wrong every moment since then. Here's Messi, lovely footwork from Messi, looking for Alba. It's not the best of passes though, and Pepe comes across from Alba and picks it up. Pepe's waiting for the foul from Alba, and Alba was obliging. Well, actually, the referee says there was no foul, so it's a Barcelona throw-in. Could see as Pepe came across, he was waiting for the contact to go down. Alba needed to be careful not to give away the free kick. He didn't do so in the end, I must say. I thought he had fouled Pepe. Thought he'd fallen into Pepe's trap. Barcelona a little slow to react. In the end, Montoya did. Xavi tried to find Pedro, couldn't quite do so. And Real Madrid have just started to settle in to a slightly deeper position, but Barcelona are getting more of the ball. The trouble is, with a man less and 2 goals down, it's still an extremely difficult task for them. Xavi now to Montoya. Montoya with Busquets. Barcelona will surely be thinking that they have to get a goal before half-time. So just try and change the mindset of this game. As Iniesta's shot is charged down. It will be a corner for Barcelona. And Carlos Puyol tonight, by the way. It's not even on the bench for Barcelona. He broke his cheekbone in midweek. He has had a mask fitted, but Tito Vilanova decided against it. Which does, in truth, from corners mean that Barcelona have only one threat, which is Gerard Piqué. There really is nobody else who can, at least with any consistency, get on the end of corners for Barcelona. Mascherano to Alba. Away from Angel Di Maria, who tried to take him down, and Di Maria tries again, and Alba just gets away from the challenge, but doesn't really have the offer of a man to play the ball to. So here's Piqué. Messi. Lovely footwork from Messi away from it. Xabi Alonso, but Cristiano Ronaldo got back to take it off him. Alonso now towards Özil. Ronaldo is going beyond him up the line, but Özil quite get clear of the challenge to play the ball up the line. In the end, Özil does force the throw-in. And draws a ripple of appreciative applause from the Santiago Bernabéu. Has gone a lot quieter in the stadium now. There's a sense of satisfaction rather than excitement now from the Real Madrid fans. That opening 20 minutes was just the momentum was extraordinary, the noise and the way that Real Madrid poured forward. Now they're starting to settle into the game, and of course settle into the game in an extremely good position. Here's Casillas. Pedro takes it off Marcelo. Now Xavi. Once again, Barcelona don't seem to have as many options as is normally the case. They're surrounded by white shirts. Xavi now for Sergio Busquets, and Messi dropping deep once again to get possession. Lovely footwork again from Messi away from Xabi Alonso, but it's still not quite opening up for Messi. Messi towards Xavi, and Xavi is taken down by Xabi Alonso. Barcelona have a free kick. Messi's angry about something, I'm not quite sure what. In the meantime, there's a Real Madrid player down on the turf. Something did happen, it happened off the ball. Jordi Alba is having a word with Mateo Laoz. Messi's complaining. Mateo Laoz is telling him that I make the decisions, I blow the whistle, let me get on with refereeing. Proving a pretty frustrating night for Leo Messi so far. Messi or Xavi, the men to take this. It's not a bad position for either. Perhaps 4 or 5 yards further out than either man would normally want a free kick. Madrid ball creeps step by step towards them. Here's Messi. Messi goes for it! Oh my goodness! What a goal that is. Well, in truth, Barcelona have done very, very little in this first half, but Leo Messi scores to make it 2-1. And maybe there is a game in this after all. Barcelona have got the goal back before half-time. And what a goal it is. 4-4 on aggregate. Real Madrid still leading because of away goals, those 2 goals they got in the first leg. But what a goal that is from Lionel Messi. It's just a perfect free kick that Iker Casillas has absolutely no chance of getting, and that shot from behind the goal, you see the bend on it. It's a superb goal for Leo Messi. Even before tonight, he'd scored in 10 of his last 11 games, 20 goals in total. 2 against Osasuna in La Liga so far this season, 2 against Real Sociedad in La Liga so far this season, 1 against Real Madrid in the first leg, another one tonight. That's 6 goals in 4 official games for Leo Messi. What a goal that was. Well, Barcelona have not been in it at all. Real Madrid scored with their first attempt in the first leg. Barcelona have scored with pretty much theirs in the second, and it was a superb free kick from Messi. What a game we've got now. Real Madrid 2, Barcelona 1. Barcelona down to 10 men though, remember. But suddenly Barcelona are starting to get somewhere. Here's Alba, across comes Pepe. Now Angel Di Maria. And all of a sudden Barcelona feel like maybe there's something in this. Of course, the more they push up, the more they will be vulnerable to that ball over the back that's already caused them so much trouble tonight. What a first half. Here's Cristiano Ronaldo. Ronaldo goes for it! Oh! Well, he almost responded to Messi with a goal that would have been even better, Cristiano Ronaldo. Wow. See, sometimes beyond all the sniping, beyond all the arguments, beyond all the bias in the media, beyond all the criticism, beyond all the accusations, these two teams play a game of football and it is absolutely spectacular. And all of a sudden it feels like a game as well, not just a Real Madrid drubbing of Barcelona. But here come Madrid again. Marcelo now to Angel Di Maria. Into the area, Di Maria comes back onto his left foot. Di Maria goes towards the far post and puts it wide. Well, you can't take your eye off it for a moment. Just wonder if maybe if Di Maria had just a little bit more faith to carry on outside on his right foot, as it was the shot went curling past the post. Well, it's been a sensational half from Real Madrid. And Barcelona for a long time didn't know what hit them, but just as Madrid started to settle into that 2-goal lead, Barcelona pushed them back, created a couple of not real chances but half chances. Then Leo Messi with that astonishing free kick means at half-time it's Real Madrid 2, Barcelona 1, 4-4 on aggregate.
Villanova, Spider, it's a bit hard to tell, but in this game, again, they were totally outplayed. Is it just more that it was a great start from Real Madrid?
No, I think the first leg we've seen the old Barcelona, but today we're seeing a Real Madrid that's taking the game to Barcelona. That's the difference.
OK, let's cross back to the game, and your commentator, Sid Lowe.
At about the half-an-hour mark after the sending off of Adriano, it was as if they knew that it was comfortable and they were settling into a routine, into a rhythm. Barcelona bit by bit started to catch them. In fact, it was Martín Montoya, the right-back, who perhaps made the greatest progression up the right-hand side and gave Barcelona the greatest outlet in that first half.
Atención, por favor. Atención, por favor. Se ruega a los niños Nizar y Quizar Aterramán, Nizar y Quizar Aterramán, acudan a la puerta 36, donde les espera su madre.
Here's Higuaín. Real Madrid certainly be looking to try and get another goal against Barcelona now, trying to put this game beyond them. But of course they know that in truth their next goal is not as significant as Barcelona's next goal. At 2-1, Real Madrid will keep the score at 4-4. At 3-2, it would go into extra time and possibly even penalties. Key really is to stop Barcelona getting that second, but Madrid will of course look for a third as well. Iniesta takes it off Angel Di Maria. Now Alonso looking towards Marcelo on the left-hand side. Montoya comes across towards him and he takes it off Marcelo now. Pedro. Ronaldo comes back to try and cut off Pedro. Pedro goes down the line, comes inside. Ronaldo's arm was across. Pedro goes to ground. Ronaldo waves at him as if to say there's nothing wrong with you. And play continues. Although maybe it doesn't. Ronaldo wants Real Madrid to stop. No one else seems to think so. And eventually it is put out of play. Ronaldo's not too impressed with Pedro, but I think he also recognises that it doesn't necessarily do his team any harm to take the sting out of the game and take a bit of time. Ronaldo did catch Pedro. Oh, he did catch Pedro as well with his forearm. I don't think there was any intent from Ronaldo, but perhaps he recognised that there was some contact. Here's Valdés under pressure. The whistles tell you just how excited the fans were about the possibility of him making a mistake of that. Here's Montoya. Montoya now to Xavi. Xavi to Busquets. Busquets' pass is a poor one for the run of Alba. Angel Di Maria cuts it out, and Di Maria goes in towards the area. Mascherano had to step across. In the end, it was a good challenge from Mascherano. Now Jordi Alba bursts out for Messi. Perhaps a little bit of space for Messi, but he's only really got one man in support. That's Pedro. Pedro goes beyond the line of the defence, behind Marcelo. Marcelo didn't really see him, fortunately for Real Madrid, nor did Leo Messi. This is Iniesta. Iniesta looking towards Pedro. Now Xavi. Xavi loses out, though, to Xavi Alonso. Higuain chased down by Piqué. Higuain thinks it's a foul. Piqué comes away from it. And the referee is going to go across. He's got a yellow card out as well. Mateo Laoz. I assume that's going to be for Gonzalo Higuain for the protest, but it may be for Piqué for the foul. And it is for Gerard Piqué. Higuain tried to come away from him. There's a fantastic for the handball from Piqué. I must confess, from this angle that wasn't at all clear at first. Three men along the penalty area. Along the penalty spot, rather. Sergio Ramos right on towards the goal line. Higuain is further over. Piqué gets his head to it, and he needed to as well. Ramos was coming in behind him. This is Gonzalo Higuain. Now Marcelo. For Alvaro Arbeloa. Di Maria trying to clip that through. Mascherano gets onto him. So too does Andres Iniesta. Builds a little again in the stadium. Just at that period and a half, the first half, where it felt like Real Madrid was settling into a sense of satisfaction at the way it had gone. It's when they got caught, it's when Barcelona started to come forward. But to say caught is perhaps a bit over harsh, considering the sheer quality of the goal from Lionel Messi. Didn't really come out of very much, in truth. Mascherano's ball looking towards Alba. Alba's quick, but never going to reach that. Piqué to Messi. Iniesta, Busquets and Alba combine. Now once more looking to Messi, but it's not the best of passes. And Barcelona will, of course, find it difficult to keep the ball as well as they'd like with a man fewer. They're already having difficulties because of Madrid's intensity of pressure. I feel that if Madrid are able to keep that up, it will be extremely hard for Barcelona to get any real flow. Here's Khedira. Khedira taken down by Andres Iniesta. Referee gives a free kick. Andres Iniesta can't quite believe it. Mateo just shrugs. He can't quite believe that Iniesta is complaining. Towards Ronaldo, can't quite get to it. Valdez looks towards Alba. He's beaten to it by Arbeloa, and it opens up quite nicely now for Angel Di Maria. Di Maria's ball down the channel towards Gonzalo Higuain. Can he get there? He can. He couldn't quite get enough on the ball to take it beyond Victor Valdez. Valdez now for Messi. Dale Arthur's called it back. I think he thinks that the ball had already gone out of play, so it's a Barcelona goal kick. Alex Song on the bench. Barcelona signing this week, of course, from Arsenal. He's Iniesta. Opening up a little bit for Iniesta. He's got support to the right of him with Pedro. Messi is further back. Osil now is on top of Messi. This is Xavi Hernandez to Busquets. Messi. Messi now for Xavi. Now Andres Iniesta to Messi. Xavi. Iniesta again. Barcelona hold of the ball perhaps for the first real time. Alba. Can they find anywhere to go with it? Certainly not going to be easy for them. This is Busquets to Messi. Messi buffeted by Ramos but manages to find Pedro. The referee gives a free kick. I think Barcelona would probably, in that position, have preferred to have continued. Free kick not in the same kind of position as the one that led to the Leo Messi goal. Well, what a summer it's been for Leo Messi. He's scored an awful lot of goals over the course of the summer, 10 since returning from his holidays. Of course, Argentina had no international tournament this summer, so Messi has had a full holiday. He was amongst the first back in training for Barcelona. The Spain players came later, included Jordi Alba, whose transfer from Valencia was announced 2 days before the final of the European Championships, where, of course, Alba had been such a revelation playing for Spain. The man has been converted to left-back by the Valencia coach, Unai Emery, from left midfield. Real Madrid will be looking at the scoreboard and thinking that there are two things going in their favour. One, the score, and the other, the clock. The closer it gets to 90 minutes, the less time Barcelona have to get that vital second away goal. Here's Higuain. Mascherano gets on top of him. It drops to Alvaro Arbeloa. Di Maria again, that little clipped ball over the defence. It's something that Di Maria has really made quite a lot of in recent years. Certainly the last 6 months at Real Madrid in particular. He's played that ball as an assist time and time again over defences that's taken a little step forward. Di Maria can just clip it over the top, either curling or with backspin on it. Messi now for Iniesta. Busquets to Messi. Messi tried to turn away from Osil, who was just clipping at his heels. Xavi. Pedro came dashing inside, went back outside again, trying to offer the Ball out for Barcelona. Pedro now to Busquets. Busquets towards Montoya. It's a lovely move from Barcelona. Maintain possession, work themselves into a reasonable position. Montoya's cross towards Xavi wasn't the best though, and Pepe gets across, and now with the help of Cristiano Ronaldo, Real Madrid have possession back once more. Here's Khedira towards Özil. Mascherano wasn't sure whether or not to go all the way to Özil. He's now got to head back towards the centre-back position, and the gap that Mascherano has left is one that Real Madrid look to exploit. Piqué comes across and gets ahead of Higuaín. The clearance isn't particularly convincing, but Barcelona now do have possession once more with Andrés Iniesta. Messi. Sergio Ramos was turned at first, but was able to recover just enough to poke the ball away from Leo Messi. He felt he should have had a free kick. Mateo doesn't agree. Here's Cristiano Ronaldo. Ronaldo goes towards a byline, left-footed cross. And overcame Javier Mascherano to clear. "110 years these two clubs have been around. 727 goals before tonight, 369 for Real Madrid, 358 for Barcelona. Because Real Madrid have had the better of it in Madrid, as you would expect. 60 wins to Barcelona's 25, but over the last 4 years, it's been all Barcelona. Ramos to Khedira. Coming inside off the touchline was Angel Di Maria. Now in space for Alvaro Arbeloa to go outside, and Real Madrid are prepared to take their time now. It's Barcelona have to come to them, not the other way around. Alonso to Ramos. Ramos now for Pepe. Pepe's ball forward towards Angel Di Maria, but it goes over the top of him and over the head of Mascherano towards Victor Valdés. Piqué wanted it short. In the end, it's Sergio Busquets who receives it. Busquets now for Mascherano. Barcelona, if they do want to make changes, have Cesc Fabregas, David Villa, Alex Song, Christian Teo and Marc Bartra on the bench. Real Madrid have Benzema, Albiol, Adan, Modric, Callejon, Las and Nacho. Xavi now for Messi. Outside him is Montoya. Messi comes inside. He hasn't got a huge amount of support, Messi. His footwork is good enough, though, to maintain possession until he finds the short pass for Xavi. Outside him is Jordi Alba. Xavi once more. Incidentally, Xavi is looking for his 24th professional trophy tonight. The record is held by Real Madrid's Paco Gento, the only player to have been involved in all 6 of their first European Cup winning trophies. He has 24, Xavi currently has 23. Here is Xavi. Busquets. It's whistles throughout the stadium. Barcelona happy to take their time and move the ball around, same as Real Madrid are. Different motives with the ball, different aims in possession. But at the moment, both sides want to get a feel of it. They want to try and get control of it. Necessarily go for the jugular just yet. Here's Iniesta to Messi. Iniesta again. There are 3 men around the two of them then. They managed to work it out of trouble, but only really into position that's not much use to them. But it's over the top now towards Pedro. What a pass! And what a great save that is as well from Iker Casillas. Pedro seemed to have done everything right. And that was the chance, and Barcelona moved the ball and waited and took their time. And it was Mascherano's pass over the top for Pedro. Superb pass as well. The two that combined for the opening goal in the first leg, and Pedro's first touch was superb, although it fractionally brought the ball back towards him, and then on the half volley, saved by Iker Casillas. Here's Messi. Messi's taken out by Sami Khedira. That'll be a free kick. Pretty bad challenge as well from Khedira. And there's a big round of applause because Karim Benzema and Luka Modric are warming up. And actually, if Real Madrid do want to try and maintain possession and take the sting out of this game, Luka Modric is a man who's very apt for that approach. Callejon is also warming up now. Messi goes for it again. It takes a deflection this time, runs through easy enough for Iker Casillas. Ramos's ball long, looking towards Cristiano Ronaldo. PK comes across, but Ronaldo had gone too soon. Barcelona have the free kick and they have possession back. That chance for Pedro was perhaps the chance. Barcelona will certainly look for more, but Pedro seemed to have done everything right. The first touch was almost impeccable, but ever so slightly forced the ball to drop just behind him, or at least further back than he would have liked. So rather than being in front of him to run onto, had to snap at it relatively quickly. Lovely turn from Pedro away from Sergio Ramos. What difference Pedro makes this side into the area. Pedro goes all the way through. Ramos comes towards him, and Pedro into Casillas' legs. Lovely touch from Osil. Still Mesut Ozil. He had to go it pretty much alone, but he's got support now from Xabi Alonso. Here's Alonso to Ronaldo. Vieira. Now Angel Di Maria. PK makes the header. It may drop to Osil here. He's beaten to it. Marcelo just tried to sneak that through towards Cristiano Ronaldo. Couldn't quite do so. Victor Valdés is out quickly. It's fourth time, incidentally, that these two sides have met in a final in the Santiago Bernabéu. Supercopa in both 1990 and 97, both of which Real Madrid won, and both times they won 4-1 here. And the Copa del Rey final in 1968, the infamous Copa del Rey final in 1968, when Barcelona won 1-0 thanks to a Funtunegi own goal, and it's a tremendous own goal as well, volleyed past his own goalkeeper. The refereeing from Antonio Rigo didn't particularly please the home fans, nor indeed did the result. A shower of bottles came down from the stands. And we're talking about glass bottles. That was the game in 1968, that Copa del Rey final, that forced the Spanish football authorities to ban glass bottles from football stadiums. From then on, it would always be plastic. One of the bottles bounced down and even sliced across the knee of the Barcelona player, Josep Maria Fuster. It's not the most convincing of clearances, but Barcelona get away with it. Busquets helps it on towards Iniesta. Iniesta somehow wriggles his way out of a gap that didn't seem to be there. Alvaro Arbeloa was the man on top of him alongside Angel Di Maria. Iniesta was absolutely superb in the first leg. Wonderful assist for Xavi Hernandez's third goal. Fantastic assist as well for Leo Messi to make it 4-1. Messi's chance was saved by Iker Casillas. And then within seconds, Madrid were up the other end, making it 3-2. The whole complexion of this Supercopa changed in that 30 seconds. Here's PK, encouraged to come forward with the ball. Bit by bit, Barcelona will do that, and of course, bit by bit, they'll leave space, but if they can maintain possession, they'll feel the risk is certainly worthwhile. This is Pedro. And of course, they'll reach the point where the risk has to be taken, even if they know it's that little bit too risky, perhaps. Cristiano Ronaldo Wins the ball back for Real Madrid. He dashed all the way across the front line. Try and maintain, to get possession back for the home side. Gonzalo Higuain now. Mesut Özil. Here's Khedira. Lovely little shimmy from Khedira, goes into the gap as well. Lovely run from Khedira all the way through. What a goal that would have been, and Victor Valdés saves. Well, Khedira is a player who with the German national team bombs up the pitch far more often. With Real Madrid, he tends to stay. When he does carry the ball forward, it can be extremely dangerous. All started with a lovely little shimmy into the area, and it was outside of the foot. Victor Valdés made the save. Pepe to Arbeloa. Iniesta takes it off him. For a moment there, it looked like Mascherano might get caught out by Higuain. Mascherano turns away from trouble and almost turns himself back into trouble. Angel Di Maria reached across him and fouled. I think Mascherano wanted more than just the free kick. It's taken quickly now for Iniesta. Xavi. Busquets. Busquets for Piqué. Outside him is Montoya. Further up is Iniesta, and it opens up a little bit for Andres Iniesta, who sees Casillas off his line. And over the top, and not by that much either from Andres Iniesta. Almost in his own half. Ramos as we go beyond the halfway point in the second half. Real Madrid 2, Barcelona 1. Barcelona 3, Real Madrid 2 in the first leg. 4-4 on aggregate. Real Madrid with those 2 away goals would be Spanish Supercopa champions if it stays this way. Barcelona trying to make sure that it doesn't. Barcelona, remember, since the sending off of Adriano in the first half, are down to 10 men. Here's Özil. Özil just couldn't quite get enough of a touch on that. Mascherano to Xavi. To Busquets, first time now for Montoya. Montoya has Pedro outside him. Montoya comes inside, sees Messi. Messi goes away from Khedira, away from Di Maria, away from Marcelo as well, and now finds Montoya. And Messi is taken down by Xavi Alonso entirely off the ball. The referee says play on. Messi gets up, Alonso gets up. Iniesta has the ball on the edge of the area. Iniesta towards Messi, it doesn't find him. It's cut out by a combination of Khedira and Pepe. And now Gonzalo Higuain, there's a big roar as they want everyone to bomb forward, and it is Khedira doing so as well. Here's Cristiano Ronaldo coming inside towards his left foot. Ronaldo towards Higuain. Fractionally overhit, Higuain couldn't get there. He does at least keep the ball in play, keep this move alive. Here's Gonzalo Higuain. Back it goes now for Marcelo. Alonso for Arbeloa. Sergio Ramos. Higuain's beaten to it by Montoya. He's had a really good game, Montoya, since he came on. Montoya felt he was fouled as he tried to follow that ball through. Messi pretty much stopped, so too does Pedro. It's taken off Ronaldo by Özil. Özil then tried to give it back to Ronaldo. The pass doesn't find its way through. This is Mascherano. Messi is making the run. Mascherano towards Messi. Not the best of passes, easily cut out by Sergio Ramos. And now Pepe, Khedira and Özil. Ramos takes down Messi, and Ramos will be booked. so far. Mascherano, Pepe, Piqué, Khedira and Ramos. A red card, of course, for Adriano. Terloff is a referee that likes the play to continue. Much more, it's been described in Spain quite often, Terloff as having a much more English approach to the game than most referees here. They seem to, for the most part, be that little bit quicker on their whistles. Terloff tries to let it flow that little bit more. Here's Xavi. You could see Jordi Alba dashing into that channel, wasn't given it. This is Andres Iniesta. Alba again trying to work a space for Barcelona on that left-hand side. Back it comes to Piqué. Piqué now for Xavi. Piqué again under pressure. Almost gave the risky back pass there and was almost caught by Cristiano Ronaldo with the support of Montoya. Piqué just about gets away with it, but Ronaldo and Higuain are closing Piqué down there and making the pass back to Victor Valdés risky. Looks like it's going to be Alex Song come on for Barcelona. Messi now. And Higuain, and Ronaldo's in space if Higuain can find him. Piqué had to make the challenge. It's a good one as well from Piqué. Good interception stretching out to reach that, and Messi is pretty unceremoniously dumped on the turf by Gonzalo Higuain. And surprisingly, there's no yellow card for that. Busquets makes way for Alex Song.
Segundo cambio en el Fútbol Club Barcelona. Se retira con el 16 Busquets y entra con el 25 Song.
It's an interesting introduction, this one, for Alex Song. A couple of early touches for him. Signed from Arsenal, of course, for £16 million. Here's Song for Xavi. Barcelona with only one change. Depending on the way the game goes between now and the next 15 minutes, you would imagine it would be Fabregas or Villa. Perhaps a slight surprise it wasn't already Fabregas. Here's Messi. Song. Xavi. Song again. Messi once more. Messi dropping very deep. The run over the top is a good one. Messi's pass is a good one as well. It must be, surely. Alba goes round Casillas, but Ramos comes across. Barcelona are creating opportunities. Lovely ball from Messi. Barcelona have carved patiently a couple of very good chances. Xavi with a corner. Piqué is theirs. Beaten to it though by Pepe. Now Messi. Still Messi. Pass towards Iniesta was cut out by Xavi Alonso. Song. Piqué's ball. Brought under control by Albert, but Angel Di Maria takes it away from him, hacks it clear. Piqué for Song. Mascherano seems to be saying to Song, get on beyond me. I don't want you back here. I don't need you this close to me. Quite a clear gesture from Mascherano, wasn't it, to Song to get further up the pitch. It's a lovely ball from Iniesta towards Jordi Alba. Pedro's going in on the far post. Jordi Alba will deliver it early, but Pedro's the only man there, and he's unable, Jordi Alba, to clear Pepe. Khedira tries to turn onto that, doesn't get to it. Xavi finds Messi. Still Messi. Almost sneaked through. Quiet, and Mesut Özil perhaps can bring it away. Alonso. Here's Özil. Song takes it off him, Özil barges into him, and Özil goes to ground. Song is the bigger of the two men, and Mesut Özil is the man that comes off worse. May well be Özil on his way off anyway. It's Callejon who's coming on. In fact, no, it's actually Angel Di Maria who's replaced by Callejon. Well, it looks like it's going to be Luka Modric as well who comes on. So there may well be debuts for both of the players to arrive from North London. Alex Song already on, Luka Modric looking like he's about to come on, although Karim Benzema is down there as well. And now Gonzalo Higuain's through, it must be! Higuain hits the post! Goodness me. Well, this game is still alive. Could have had 5 or 6 tonight. It was Alonso's pass. And Higuain makes way to applause, although it seems to be a very slightly mixed reaction there to Gonzalo Higuain. Off the post. Mourinho does still have one more change, which presumably will be Modric. Benzema gets on, but they're going to wait until after the corner. Ronaldo's there, his head has only glanced. Khedira picks it up. Now Alonso. Forward it goes from Pepe. Higuain's got support outside him with Khedira. Ronaldo makes the run, Khedira comes inside, Khedira's shot is blocked. Drops to Callejon, Callejon to Alonso! And that has sailed into the stands.
Ahora sí, segundo cambio en el Real Madrid Club de Fútbol. Se retira con el 20, Gonzalo Higuain.
Even the stadium announcer said this time it will be. And Barcelona's final change is Pedro Fortello. It was Pedro that was making the most inroads.
Y entra con el 9, Karim Benzema.
Big roar for Karim Benzema.
Tercer cambio en el Fútbol Club Barcelona. Se retira con el 17 Pedro y entra con el 37 Tello.
Pedro Fortello. Benzema for Higuain. Time ticking down, just 8 minutes to go now. Here's Xavi. Tello was trying to make that dashing run inside off the wing. Xavi plays a 1-2 with Messi. Messi can't quite get away from the challenge of Xavi Alonso. Piqué comes to take it off Cristiano Ronaldo. Ronaldo's furious with himself, but it was a fair challenge. Modric is preparing to come on. Iniesta to Messi. Messi's very deep. He's finding Iniesta once more. This is Tello now. Tello faced by Marcelo. Tello runs straight into Marcelo, but Andres Iniesta is there to pick it up. Iniesta goes in towards the area. Iniesta towards Tello. Tello's shot into the side netting. Not even sure that Tello was shooting. Just like a scuff that. Well, it may not be a sign in terms of Luka Modric's position at Real Madrid, but it's Mesut Özil that he replaces in his first appearance for the club. Luka Modric coming on for the final 7 minutes. Piqué and Ronaldo jump. Ronaldo's got support outside him. It's Callejon, but Ronaldo's forced Callejon a long, long way wide. Arbeloa. Callejon to Arbeloa again. Mascherano makes the challenge. Modric is there. Lovely touch from Modric as well towards Callejon. Callejon back towards Benzema. Piqué and Iniesta win the ball back. And Barcelona, to say, have been pretty impressive in their possession with 10 men in the second half. Time is running away from them now. Here's Marcelo. Teo's second touch isn't good, but he manages to win the ball back, though. The free gives Barcelona a free kick anyway for the foul. It's taken quickly towards Montoya. Teo. Xavi. Messi now. Here's Andres Iniesta. Outside him is Alba. It wasn't the best of passes. Alba's forced to kind of sweep it back to Iniesta quickly. Iniesta to Alba. Towards Iniesta, but he doesn't get to it. Here's Khedira. Piqué to Iniesta. Now Montoya. Teo goes outside and Montoya comes inside, doesn't quite get there. Alonso does. Ramos prevents the corner. And with the help of Karim Benzema, keeps the move alive for Real Madrid. Xabi Alonso, meantime, goes down. Here's Modric. Modric to Benzema. Benzema's got Cristiano Ronaldo going off the shoulder of Javier Mascherano. Benzema comes inside. Piqué comes back to him. And Piqué wins the ball back very cleanly and keeps possession going as well. Xabi Alonso, meantime, is down. He's back on his feet now, Alonso. Will Messi get to this? Just about does Leo Messi. There's Ramos. Ramos is snapping away at Messi. Wins a free kick. Messi takes it quickly towards Teo. Teo tries to find Xavi. Xavi to Leo Messi. And in the meantime, the referees pull Barcelona back for their own free kick. Alonso's not too happy. Barcelona not too happy either. There are only 4 minutes left, plus whatever time Matelov adds. There have been 6 substitutions and all of them separate. So we can expect at least 3 minutes added on at the end of this. Actually, no, not all of them separate, I lie, because Benzema's change was made pretty much the same time as Teo. Messi to take the free kick. Real Madrid's defensive line is 5 or 6 yards outside the area. Messi curls it in towards the area. It's not the best of deliveries, and Ramos headed it, and the fans are furious with Ramos, but he wasn't to know there wasn't anyone behind him. Fans are furious because Ramos didn't need to touch that. He says to Casillas, well, you need to tell me. Fans told him, but they told him afterwards. Xavi with a corner. Song is there. Piqué is there. Really has to be one of those two. It's unlikely to be anyone else who gets in with a header. Here's Messi. Messi's touched the Song. Back to Messi. Messi now for Teo. Teo goes for goal. It takes a deflection on the way through. It's Ramos who blocks it. Another corner. Messi with the corner. Casillas comes and punches. Here's Mascherano. That was a pretty awful pass from Javier Mascherano. Casillas waits for Leo Messi and picks the ball up when he gets there. Real Madrid felt that they'd ended the Barcelona era last season by winning La Liga. They'd taken the Copa del Rey off Barcelona the season before, but a league and a Champions League double really felt like it. They hadn't properly dethroned Pep Guardiola's side. Last season, Real Madrid did finally win that league for the first time in 4 years. Pep Guardiola departed. The season hasn't started well for them. They're already 5 points behind Barcelona in La Liga. This has been a fantastic turnaround for them after a really, really disappointing first game. And they're now just a few minutes away, Real Madrid, from being Spanish Super Cup champions. Here's Ronaldo. Jose Mourinho likes to talk about the Super Cup as the most important of the summer friendlies and the least important of the competitive games. Either way, it is a game that matters, but maybe not one to get panicky about. As he said, I'd rather lose the Super Cup and win the league. I'm sure Barcelona will be clinging to a similar sort of narrative tomorrow if it stays this way. And it does look that way now into the final 30 seconds plus additional time. Here's Modric. Well, Barcelona have made the chances to have won this, or rather to have equalised and therefore won the Supercopa. Unable to take it, the best of them fell to Pedro. First touch was good, then the save from Casillas. So Pedro also had a run up the right wing, drew a save from Casillas, but has been difficult for Barcelona with 10 men. There will be 3 minutes left. Pretty much the minimum it could be, 3 minutes. Xavi's beaten to it by Modric. Cristiano Ronaldo now to Benzema. This really could end it now. Benzema, if he can find the final pass, he does to Modric. Modric's shot is blocked, comes to Khedira. Not far away. Here's Messi. Sergio Ramos comes across to take it off him. Messi will chase Ramos down, but doesn't get there. Benzema. Modric. Forward towards Callejon into the area. Ronaldo's at the far post. Callejon can't quite pull it back. He reaches Valdés rather. Maybe there's a chance for one last attack for Barcelona. Ramos blocked off Messi. Here's Iniesta. Iniesta now towards Messi. He's running at a retreating defence. Messi's ball towards Montoya. Montoya into the area. Montoya one against Casillas. Casillas saves it. And could that be it? Well, Casillas has been so important across the 2 legs. Vital save late in the first leg, and that could be the save that finally gives them the trophy this time around. There is still a Barcelona corner though. It's Xavi Hernandez to take it. Song is there, doesn't quite get to it. Ramos heads it up in the air. Away it goes towards Benzema. Barcelona have it back. This is Andres Iniesta. Iniesta heads in towards the penalty area. Support now from Teo. Teo to the edge of the box for Song. Song brings it under control. Lovely touch towards Messi. Messi on the edge of the box. Messi goes for it! And Messi curls it just wide of the post. Well. It was so close as well from Teo. Back towards Song, and then Messi. Oof, just wide of the post. Bernabeu erupts, so it was hearts in mouths for Real Madrid fans there. Casillas will take the goal kick. I imagine it will be the last kick of the game. Up it goes. Mascherano leaps. Xavi will get there. Beaten to it by Ronaldo. Mascherano again loses out though to Ronaldo. This is Jordi Alba. There cannot be long left now. Jordi Alba carries it forward. launches it towards PK, who's up front as an auxiliary centre-forward right now. Real Madrid are furious. They want that final whistle to go. Up towards PK. Hoisted in the air by Khedira. And there goes the final whistle. And Real Madrid have won 2-1. Real Madrid are Spanish Supercopa champions for 2012-2013.
So Real Madrid beating Barcelona and winning the Supercopa, and we've certainly been entertained on both legs. And that first half performance, Spider, that was just unbelievable. That set up the win. Obviously the red card didn't help for Barcelona, made it very difficult for them to play their normal possession game. But again, every time we see Real Madrid play Barcelona, it's an entertaining game. It's got goals, it's got red cards, it's got everything, hasn't it?
Yeah, well, once again, they haven't disappointed, have they? They've put on a great performance, both teams. Barcelona with 10 men for 60 minutes of the match, and to still have the audacity to push Real Madrid just shows how good of a side they are. But all credit to Real over the two legs. I thought they were fantastic today in the first 45 minutes, and maybe they sat back a little bit to try to protect their lead, but all credit to the special one, and he gets the cherry on top to start the season off.
And Franny, the way they were pressing, just the way they came out in that first half, it was unbelievable. We didn't see that last week, but it was all one way. There were a lot of mistakes as well from Barcelona in defence.
Yeah, they were. I think the Real Madrid came out, they were aggressive, they pressed like crazy. Barcelona didn't have control, couldn't control the ball, couldn't control possession, made crucial errors. Again, this is the second one, another crucial error here. And I think overall they'll look at both games and they'll say, well, overall it's the individual mistakes that have probably cost them, because you go back to that first game with the individual mistake by the goalkeeper, which gifted Real Madrid the second goal in that match when they were really out of it. And you look at this as well, and I think Villanova would look back at this and say, okay, we made the individual mistakes, but in the first half we didn't play very well at all. We had no rhythm, we had no intensity.
Well, how crucial is Alves to that? I mean, Alves coming out within minutes of the game about to start, does that show a lack of depth maybe?
Well, it's not a lack of depth, but obviously when you're replacing of that kind of player who is a supposed to be a defender, but he really doesn't defend, he just attacks. And we know the way Barcelona play with the width of the park, that is fantastic footwork. You know, it's unbelievable.
He didn't have much time, did he, Spider, to bring that down and get the shot off?
Great first touch and unbelievable shot as well.
Yeah,
but a lot of chances in the second half, weren't they, Franny?
They had plenty of chances. I mean, and that's the thing. Once you get down to 10 men sometimes, and we see this in football all the time, it concentrates minds. All of a sudden, players lift, and I think with a team like Barcelona, we saw them dominate possession in the second half, really control the game. Real actually sat back and waited for them, and they were outstanding in the second half, Barcelona. And when you look on the weight of chances, really, they were probably unlucky not to have got something out of it. I think, you know, when you look at the number of chances they had in the second half, especially towards the end, you'd have thought that, you know, they would have brought it to 2-2, and if that had been the case, well, I mean, this chance here, Jordi Alba, just that touch was a little bit too heavy. And so I think Villanova overall would be very happy with the way they played in the second half. And I think in some ways you could say that Barcelona probably had the moral victory in that sense.
But also Real Madrid had plenty of chances. Modric came on, had a few touches as well, Spider.
Yeah, I think the game should have been closed in the first half. I think the amount of chances Real had in the first half, they should have finished it off. And there was Modric. That would have been a great beginning to his Real Madrid career had he put that in the back of the net. But overall, I think 1-0 to Mourinho over Villanova. I think it's just a huge mental win for the Real Madrid players winning the Super Cup.
Well, there is a bit of a psychological aspect to it, isn't there, Franny? And obviously with this win, Mourinho will be very happy, also considering the poor start that they've had. Yeah,
that's right. And I think it's also what Mourinho was talking about, you know, the psychological profile of his players in terms of, you know, their mindset in those last two games. And I think it also shows that even though they were comprehensively beaten the first game, they've come back very strongly for the second game. So, yeah, all to play for as the season goes on.
Okay, guys, that's all we got time for this morning. Thanks again. I'll see you soon.
Cheers. Thank you.
Okay, quick reminder of some of the top sports action coming your way over the next week. With the names of all 32 competing clubs now known, the draw for the group stage of the UEFA Champions League will take place this weekend, as will the UEFA Super Cup. Join us on Saturday morning from 4:30 Eastern on SBS 1 and HD for Chelsea versus Atletico Madrid, live from the Stade Louis II in Monaco. Later that night, there's more live cycling on SBS 1 with stage 14 of the Vuelta a España. It's the first of 3 consecutive live stages here on SBS, with coverage getting underway at 11:30 each night. On the World Game this Monday, we'll continue our look ahead to the return of the A-League with special guests Ange Postecoglou and Adrian Leia from Melbourne Victory, as well as an in-depth chat with Phoenix coach Ricky Herbert. Also, look out for an exclusive interview with former Brazil, Portugal and Chelsea boss Luis Felipe Scolari. That's 9:30 p.m. on SBS 2, 11 p.m. on SBS 1 and streamed online. As always, for all the reaction and highlights from this morning's match, or if you'd like to get the latest news ahead of the weekend's UEFA Super Cup clash, head to our website, sbs.com.au/The World Game. That's all we have time for. Thanks for your company this morning from the team and The World Game. It's bye for now.